In this video, I'll explain you how you can beat much larger B2B SaaS competitors without needing a massive team or tens of millions in funding. And I'll also share where most founders get the scaling wrong and eventually die out while some other competitors take their market share. The concept I need you to understand is when you are scaling a startup, you're usually very short on resources. And even if you have millions in runway, you are often competing against companies that already have tens of millions and sometimes hundreds of millions in cash. And if you try to play their game against them, you are often gonna be destined to fail. That's why you need to be a lot more efficient than them, especially when it comes down to your sales processes. A lot of times I see founders trying to sell their solution to every single prospect that comes into their pipeline, and this is a huge mistake. I was scaling one of my initial projects, which was an app for medical students, helping them prepare for exams. And back then I would be spending like tens of hours and weeks DMing potential medical students who would be agreeing to use my product and who'd like at least some of them would be giving me feedback for me to work on. And that's how I was getting on every single call I could, implementing all feedback I heard, and then was in shock when after I spent another 5 months building the product and came back to them, surprise, surprise, none of them was wanting to really pay for it. Maybe 1 out of 20 people would. And it was such a reality check for me after I spent like half a year nailing all the features and all the feedback they shared, just to end up in a completely wrong direction and to see that, well, them giving all these feature requests and then saying, oh, just implement this and that's right when we're gonna pay you, meant nothing. And I want to share one interesting story how one of my clients added 32k in MRR in 5 months by getting this part right. He used to be trying to sell his solution to every single prospect that came into his pipeline until I introduced him into the concept of high intent scaling. I explained him that in order for you to start growing by 5-10 times quicker, the thing you need to do is to focus on high intent buyers instead of trying to sell to everyone. And that's how we started filtering out all the irrelevant leads, repositioned his offer so that it attracted the right type of people, and for them it was a no-brainer, and then got his solution in front of a lot more qualified eyeballs. Guess what happened next? Of course, it was much easier for him to sell, and all his concerns about him not being able to be a master salesman vanished, because now he would be nailing every single, well, not every single deal, but I would say he started at around 10% close rate, now getting to 30-40% close rate. Why? Because instead of him spending all his time and energy on all potential leads that he could get in touch with, now he would only invest his time into qualified prospects who were problem aware, knew why they need his solution, had the budget for it, and came prepared to this call. Imagine how much easier for you it would be to scale your startup if all the opportunities you'd be landing on your calendar would check all these boxes. Well, no surprise you'd start closing at 20-30% higher close rate. And the thing which would happen next is you would free up a lot more resources. This would allow you not to hire as many sales reps, because now instead of needing to have like 30 to 50 meetings weekly, you can have 10 to 20, but they're extremely qualified and close at a very decent rate, allowing you to scale your organization with very efficient resource allocation. Again, there are 3 steps you need to follow for you to win market share from your competitors. It is positioning your offer as a no-brainer, and I talked more about it into my newsletter, which you can find in the link nearby. The second thing which you need to do is to get the right type of traffic into it and to get enough of such traffic. And I explained how to do it in my other YouTube video, which I'll share nearby. And thirdly, you need to go heavy into disqualifying everyone who is not an ideal fit for your solution, because as long as you're accepting calls with them, you keep questioning yourself whether you're going in the right direction or not, And due to the fact that your offer is not positioned right, you're not getting enough traffic, you don't have this leverage to disqualify all the prospects that you need to be disqualifying. As a result, you are not closing the opportunities that you should be putting more focus into, and you're not growing nearly as fast as you could be. So if right now one of your main priorities is getting to this initial 1 to 3 mil ARR milestone, what I want to share is that in the past couple of years, I took 14 different B2B SaaS companies past 1 mil ARR inside my program. And if you'd like some help getting there a lot quicker and are interested in my advisory, then just find the link nearby, go to this saascamp.com and apply there. Outside of that, appreciate you watching this video and talk soon.